Welcome down, everyone, to another episode of Those Nerds You Know. My name is Ethan.
I'm Eddie.
And we are Those Nerds You Know.
Once again
coming at you.
Coming to you for a sequel.
Coming to you live at the time of recording to talk about Ant-Man and The Wasp.
The second Ant-Man. There's two of them.
Yes, there's two now. I don't think we were doing this when the first one came out. Yeah, no, that was way while ago.
Yeah. That's a long time ago.
So yeah,
talk
about another sequel, of which the first one we have not discussed.
True.
It's all good. We're good. We're okay.
You can do both of them. I mean, the sequel's title is the same as the first one, just an extra stuff to it.
Yep.
It's whatever. There's no number in this.
Ant-Man and a thing. Yep.
The 20th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, good lord, is it?
The 20th film.
Dang.
10 years of the Marvel Studios.
Yeah, we still get that 10-year, oh gosh, you know the word, logo. Psh, Jesus.
Anniversary.
Yeah, the logo, like when the
the 10 that comes.
Yarp.
Every movie from now on until the next one. Then they can do the S in studios, maybe, and then the O in studios.
Maybe so. There you go, Marvel.
Who knows?
We solved your problem for you.
If Russian doesn't blow us up first,
You heard it here first.
Politics.
Cool. The overall feelings on this film, to be?
Well, to begin with, I didn't see the first one until I planned to go see Ant-Man and Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
Which was I saw Ant-Man, the first one, a day before I went to see the Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I was pleasantly surprised by both because I didn't have high expectations for Ant-Man.
Yep. You're one of many people that I know hadn't seen the first one, and I'm still it boggles my mind.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't see it as a necessity to the whole story because he shows up in Civil War.
Right.
And
I understand that.
I knew who he was, and I knew what he could do, and the first movie didn't really give me new information, So it was completely inessential to the whole Marvel storyline at the moment.
Yeah, and seeing it like that, I understand that. It was a really fun. The first one's a really fun movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's refreshing in the Marvel lineup because it wasn't about a giant
world-ending comet coming to kill everybody.
Earth-destroying bad guy or anything like that, or a big portal in the sky. It's just a good movie about corporate espionage and like a redemption arc for a criminal who's trying to be a good guy and be a good dad. And I really liked that in the first one, and it follows suit pretty well in the sequel. Like it's basically it's a very similar thing where it's not world ending, it's not fate deciding. It's mostly about, for the most part, at its core, it's about a family, and it's about a lot of the tension comes around. Family. A good portion of the tension comes from like people wanting to steal really important technology to make money. So yeah. But yeah. So you want to do a brief synopsis of the first one? First one, Scott Lang. So Scott Lang is not the original Ant-Man. Hank Pym, I think, is. And Hank Pym's real old in this.
Yeah.
He's like a Tony Stark figure kind of in a way. He's a brilliant scientist and makes a really bunch of cool gadgets, but he doesn't have nearly the social skills as Tony Stark does.
I mean, if you want to call Tony Stark social skills, he just talks over other people.
He's got better ones.
He talks with money. He does. Well, yeah, he'll have better ones. Like Mr. Hank will just punch someone in the face. Yes,
Hank's just he's just a hothead and a control freak.
He's so good. I love that character so much. He does what I would think I would do in that situation.
He's just not an effective businessman whatsoever. Gosh.
Oh, also, man. He's gotten old, and he can't function like he used to, so he has to get someone new in the suit that shifts sizes.
Absolutely. And I don't remember what the exact plot of the first one. I think the first one they were just trying to keep someone else from taking his technology and essentially using it for capital gain rather than whatever it is he felt like it should be used for. So anyway, he got Scott Lang, who was a thief, to wear his suit and learn how to use it so he could thieve other things more effectively for him. And that's essentially the story of Ant-Man. And then he goes in to Civil War, basically, because the suit, for the most part, is on loan to him. And so, like, when he's in Civil War, and uses the suit, it's kind of without permission, I guess. And so that's a big
plot point in the second movie.
Yeah, it's a big point of contention between him and Hank Pym and Hope, Hank's daughter.
Who is the Wasp? Spoiler!
Yes, to Wasp. Despoils, all despoils.
But that was in the end of the first one, because Hank Pym was like, here, this was a suit that me and your mom was gonna do and stuff. We were gonna give it to you anyway, so here it is now. We can work on it.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Boppity boppity bip. So what is this? Yes. So this movie starts off with a lovely sequence of homeboy playing with his daughter.
Because he's under house arrest.
Yes, and we find out he's under house arrest, so he's trapped in his house, and he has to be very, very creative as to how he spends his time in the house.
Because he did heroic stuff, which was against the Soviet Accords, whatever it was. The
Sokovia Accords.
Sokovia. What? Not right. that fake area Accords.
Yes.
And instead of going to jail for a really long time, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna put you under house arrest."
Yeah, I think
2 years.
I think there was some kind of deal. I'm not exactly certain. He did something.
Yeah. It was a plea deal or plea bargain or whatever.
Cooperated well enough and yada yada yada.
And Tony Stark has lots of money.
He does have that. Well, but he wasn't on Tony Stark's team. I don't think he was.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He wouldn't have gotten help from Tony.
I guess Hank has a lot of money.
But he wasn't on good terms with Hank either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was just a plea, and I think he might have cooperated. I think he might have led them to believe that he destroyed the suit, because that was a thing that most people seem to know about, or seem to consider to be truth, that he had destroyed the suit. So yeah, maybe they just didn't have enough on him to actually put him in jail. But I don't know. Anyways, so he's on house arrest and running a security business with his friends who are also ex-cons, and the business is called Ex-Con Security, and it's great, and I love it.
I do like his cohorts. They were really funny. Surprisingly funny for being like doofuses,
absolutely
the doofus crew.
Luis is my favorite thing. So Luis, his Hispanic friend, I love all of the sequences in the first film where he begins telling a story and then everyone in the story is speaking as him. Like, I love that. It happens like 3 times in the first film.
He's speaking and they do the mouth motions in his story.
And then they do that again in this film in one really, really long sequence. And it's my favorite moment of the film.
It's really good.
So funny.
Especially, like, they don't just, like, mimic the mouth words. They also do, like, the head motions and stuff.
Yes.
Like, with his sass that he's giving them. It's
all
so
of his
great.
Expressions. It's
especially
so
seeing
good.
Evangeline Lilly, the one who plays Hope. Like, I love her.
Oh no, I can't hear you anymore. Eddie, where'd you go? You're falling in the black. No.
Fix your internet, Ethan.
Just to let all our listeners know, we had some serious technical difficulties in this episode.
Because Ethan,
Eddie will say it's due to me on my end, but I'd just like you to know it's probably Eddie's
literally
fault. Eddie,
no
can you hear
one
me
else has these problems with me.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, so I've been explaining to the listeners our situation. Welcome back.
Thank you.
This is going to be such a joy to edit.
Mm-hmm. Enjoy it. I hope you do.
No, what were you talking about?
I was saying, that I even liked Evangeline Lilly, the girl who plays Hope, her head bobs and stuff. Like
Yes.
the things I've seen her in, she's not very expressive, or at least she was in early in her career. Like I saw her, I loved her on Lost, but her expressions weren't the best. Like whenever something weird was happening, she'd always have this confused look on her face.
Gotcha.
And I call it the Kate face. And every time I see someone doing like the confused stare into the blank space, it's like, oh, that's the Kate face. And she doesn't do that anymore, and I'm so proud of her, because she didn't do that at all in this movie.
Excellent. Good to know.
But yeah, she the head bobs got me. I cracked up in the theater whenever that happened.
I recall laughing a lot in this movie, and I love that. I love the way Marvel can make me laugh. It's just good. It's really good. And that's why I think when a lot of people talked about all the humor that was in Thor Ragnarok, like, I enjoyed it as well. And I was like, yeah, it's funny. It's a cool movie. But I couldn't put my finger on why I wasn't, like, maybe as impressed as everyone else. And I think it might have just been because I'd seen Ant-Man and a lot of people hadn't. Because I was already, like, used to a bit more funniness in a Marvel film. So
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I like the humor in all of the films that I just mentioned. But yeah, I laughed a lot in this movie, and I liked that quite a bit. There were a lot of sequences that I really liked. Oh, speaking of actors and actresses that we enjoy, or I guess actors is the main term now. I don't know. Actors that we enjoyed in this film. I really liked what they did, everything that Paul Rudd did in this film, because I think he showed a lot more range in this than in the previous Ant-Man film.
Yeah.
Like his time as Hank Pym's wife. So good. I loved that so much.
You know, another really impressive actress in this movie was his daughter. Like, or
the girl, Scott's daughter.
Little girl. Scott's daughter, yeah.
I agree.
Cassie, I think her name was.
Sounds about right.
She was great.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
I love her
She's
so
super,
much.
super cute and sassy.
It's like, where are these kids, like, training with their acting skills? Because there's so many good child actors right now. It's ridiculous. Like on Stranger Things.
Truth.
I mean, it's mind-blowing. Like, Disney must be, like, throwing the whip on these kids or something. What are you doing, Mouse? Stop abusing these children.
Doing great.
Do good, because they're doing great.
Okay, so my thought train derailed a bit, and I'm gonna back it up so you know where it went. You mentioned Stranger Things, and I was like, maybe that's coming out in October. I don't know if it's been announced. And then I thought, wait, you know what has been announced just today? Voltron season 7, August 10th. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched the first episode of that.
Ha 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 ha. Great job. I'm proud of you.
I'll talk about that in the
yeah, we'll talk
next
about that later.
segment.
Anyways, back on to Ant-Man and the Wasp. I enjoyed that this film. So I don't know if there was a lot of spoilers in trailers, because I only saw one, I think, maybe two.
I didn't see any.
I liked that. I thought this film was going to be a certain thing, and it wasn't. I assumed that this film was going to be another someone trying to steal Hank Pym's stuff, and that like the ghost was just going to be, you know, someone who got in a suit that was really cool that could warp through things, and he was going to try and steal his stuff. And then when I learned, I knew we were going to have the part about Hank's wife being stuck in the quantum realm. I just figured that would be early on, like they would solve that really quickly, and then we'd have something else to deal with. But instead, that was the main
ultimate goal.
Yeah, that was the ultimate goal. And the ghost, like at the moment when the ghost we were watching the ghost take off the suit. And then I was like, oh my gosh, is she going to phase him for her life? And she did. And I was like, whoa, nuts. Okay. My thoughts about this movie are different. Okay, I was wrong about a couple things. So it was really interesting that, I don't know, I think they presented well and kept some things hidden that I appreciated. Mm-hmm. Want to go beat for beat where we left off? I don't know. No, yeah. So the other thing that's happening at the beginning of this movie. So Scott Lang and Hank Pym and Hope are not on good terms. Scott's not on good terms with Hank and Hope. Hank and Hope are still trying to find a way to get into the quantum realm because they believe if Scott could come back, that Hank's wife and Hope's mom could also come back, could make it back. So they're working on a big...
Well, no, we skipped quite an important part there. Like, he has a dream about being his wife, being Hank Pym's wife.
Yes.
And something he's never seen before.
We've just been calling her Hank's wife and Hope's mom. Let's get an actual name.
What is her name? Judy Greer. No, that's not. That's Maggie.
Frick. She's listening. It just the simple listing on Google is just Wasp.
It's Michelle Pfeiffer. Jesus Christ. Janet Van Dyne.
Okay.
Janet Van Dyne. Janet. Damn it, Janet. Anyway, we see through Janet's eyes. It's Michelle Pfeiffer. Surprise. And then he wakes up and calls Hank and is like, "Hey, no, we haven't talked in a while. Sorry about that, but I had a dream about your wife. Blah blah blah." Mm-hmm. And he gets picked up by Hope, who drives a car real fast and shrinks it down and then resizes it again over and over for some reason. And and then they meet up again, and then we can continue with where you left off.
But essentially, they're trying to build this machine to get into the quantum realm. They think that Scott could be the key to sort of pinpointing where Janet is, and so they've got to collect some certain things, which leads to the next scene sequence that I think is super fun, where they're attempting to purchase a little black market material from a guy named Sonny.
He's a good old Southern gentleman.
Oh my gosh, I love him so much. Sonny's so great. Sonny is, like you said, a Southern gentleman, and goodness,
he owns a restaurant.
He owns a restaurant, but he also deals on the black market, and he's trying to get them some stuff. But he learns through, I guess, some kind of contact at the FBI, that Hope is not who she's claiming to be. She's going under the name Susan to try and buy stuff from him, and he's like, "Hey, I know you're actually Hope Pym, and I know that you've got stuff that
I know you're the daughter of Hank Pym.
Yes, I know you've got really important quantum technology and all that nonsense, and I'd like in on it. I've got some buyers." And she's like, "Nah," and he's like, "Okay, well then, nah." So,
why don't you leave the money too?
Yes.
So she's coming to buy this piece, and then he keeps the piece and tries to keep the money, but then she basically kicks all their asses, and it's great. Yes, it's
super good. I love that sequence. This is also when the ghost shows up for the first time, and Scott Lang suits up again as Ant-Man, and we get a cool little fight sequence. But also, do you know what other movie Walter Goggins, I think, is the guy that plays Sonny? You know what other movie he was in that we saw this year? And reviewed?
I probably know.
So
Let me think. Wait, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna think.
All right. I got you.
I don't know.
When I saw him on the cast list, I was like, Walter Goggins, that looks really familiar. I feel like I've looked him up already this year. And I had, because he's in The Death Cure, in the Maze Runner Death Cure movie. He is the leader of the rebels outside the city. The guy that's had been infected but never turned crazy.
Oh,
and he eventually blows himself up on the side of the wall.
Yeah.
That is him. I was like, dang.
Wow.
That's so
that
great.
Is him.
I think he's also in Westworld. I'm not entirely certain. Let me check that. He's in something else. That or maybe it was in Justified. Justified and Hateful Eight and Django. Gotcha. Yeah. He's in some kind of modernish Western things. Sons of Anarchy. Oh, apparently he was also in Tomb Raider. I still haven't seen that movie.
I don't think he was on
this year's Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I don't think he was in.
Anywho, yeah. So that's a really cool sequence. We get introduced to the ghost, and the ghost gets away, I think, with the thing that they were trying to buy from him. And then, yeah, that's when we get to see this scene where she gets out of her suit, the ghost does, and she's still phasing and stuff. And we're like, oh, there's more to this. And so we're like, oh, okay. I immediately thought, okay, maybe she's trying to find some way to cure herself. So yeah. Where do we go from here? What plot twists are going on?
At that
I'll
point,
probably see this movie again, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't recall exactly.
they go through lots of size changing again, which I still don't understand. If they're trying to hide someone somewhere, they just get small again and like drive into a drain or something.
Very true.
I thought that was a bit weird, like when they're running from like the cops or something, or Ghost. I don't remember it one sequence, but I'm like, why are you changing sizes? Like, just stop. Just get small. You don't have to.
It's very true.
Doing this. Also, another thing I thought of. This happens later in the movie, but during like the last chase scene, where they're going after both Walton and running from Ghost or chasing Ghost. I don't remember. It's been a week since I've seen this. It's already on my mind.
Yep.
They Louise has the lab, because the lab had like the gigantic building lab can shrink as well, and they carry it around with a handle and like roll it around. He has the shrunken lab, and then they shrink again in the car. So it's extremely tiny at that point, so why not just have it at that size from then on?
Yep, that's a great, I don't know.
So
easier to lose, but I guess they have a tracker for it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, easier to hide from other people too.
Yeah, this is very accurate.
I was thinking of like the science behind the shrinking. It's like if it could go smaller, then why not bring it to that point instead of at that condensed roll around luggage size.
I don't have answers for you, Eddie.
Just things I thought of while I was watching the movie.
Good thoughts, Eddie.
Ghost takes the piece and gets in her little quantum chamber that she built or something like that, or that's this shield guy built.
Yes,
I don't know his
accurate. Name. So yeah, they also meet up with Morpheus.
Yeah, him, that Matrix guy.
Yes, and like almost like immediately after they had their conversation with him, I was like, I bet you homegirl's like his daughter or something, like Ghost.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah, and she wasn't his biological daughter, but they basically had that relationship.
Yeah, he adopted her. It's fine.
Crushed it. Yeah, that's why we didn't see more of him in the trailer. But yeah, Morpheus was cool. I like how at the end there were so many different things happening. We had the FBI chasing them. We had Sonny and the black market guys chasing them. We had Ghost chasing them. And like Ghost and Shield guy had like good reasons to be doing what they were doing, even though it was kind of evil. It's very strange to me. Like their particular plot was very strange because it seemed like the loosest of all of them.
Yeah.
And they were like, I know, we'll find this lady who's been stuck in the quantum realm and we'll suck quantum juice out of her. And I'm like, why? If you could open the quantum realm, couldn't you just get it from the quantum realm? Why do you have to kill someone? Like, why this is unnecessarily evil? Like, what are you doing? It was very strange. It was also interesting that we've got like another like essentially another like killer agent, crazy agent that we hadn't heard of about before, meaning the Ghosts. They were trained by S.H.I.E.L.D. to be killer spy.
Weaponized.
Yeah. Which at first I was like, wait a second, S.H.I.E.L.D. wouldn't do that kind of thing. And I was like, wait a second, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Hydra. Never mind. They would do exactly that kind of thing. That is precisely what they would do. No worries. So yeah. But yeah, I don't, yeah, their like plan was very strange because again, it would also like their plan wouldn't honestly succeed unless someone else had found a way to find the wife, because they didn't seem like they had any good way of finding her, so they were just waiting around for someone else to find her, like, which didn't seem very likely. But because up until like 2 years prior to this moment, Hank wasn't ever planning to find his wife. Like,
Right.
it wasn't until they saw Scott come back from the quantum realm that they were like, oh, this is a thing that can happen. So like Morpheus's plan was just so strange to me. I was just like, what? This doesn't make any, like, I don't feel like anyone would have come to this assumption logically. I didn't. Yeah, anyway, strange. But we got another trip to the quantum realm with Hank this time, which was all loopy and weird and crazy.
It reminded me of the demon realm that Doctor Strange went into with the.
Yes, it did very much remind me of that with oh, we can do this, Eddie. Dormammu?
Yeah, Dormammu.
Yeah, crushed it.
I am. It just reminded me of that, like, surface and the warping colors and the weird ribbons of gunk all over the place. Super weird. Was that in Doctor Strange? That wasn't in Doctor Strange.
The quantum realm?
That was in... No. The when he fought Dormammu, when he got him stuck in the loop. What was that? What movie was that?
Yeah, that's Doctor Strange.
Really?
Yes, that was.
Yeah. Okay, because I'm thinking of the villain guy that was ahead, like, in charge of it, was the final boss for some reason. But
yeah, no, that was he was just in charge of summoning Dormammu, and he succeeded.
I remember now. Gosh, it's been so long. I'm gonna sit down and like watch all the Marvel movies for the past 10 years. It's only 20 of them. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll be good. No worries. Knock that out in an evening.
Anyway. Quantum realm. We were in the quantum realm.
Quantum realm. There was a brief moment of terror where he almost got eaten by a mite of some sort.
Yeah.
That's very strange. But instead, just I felt like he shrunk down like into it. Like I felt like he almost essentially just accomplished the same thing.
Well, I mean, technically he did sink into it because like those are molecules. But why was Michelle Pfeiffer in this this dust mite? You know, maybe she got eaten earlier. Who knows?
DK, yeah. But they had some kind of tracking beacon where they're tracking her, so I figured it worked out.
Well, they had coordinates to go to her rather than a tracking device.
So
I guess it would be tracking. I don't know. Anyway, we find a weird alien-looking suit person coming toward Mr. Pym with a wing spear that she made out of one of her wasp wings.
Yeah.
And she takes her helmet off. Oh my God, it's Michelle Pfeiffer. What is she doing? She looks so young. Michelle Pfeiffer's old as hail. that de-aging machine technology. Old Mickey Mouse, what are you doing?
Super good. Just super good.
Oh God, she's only 60 years old. Jesus.
Any hoozles. Yeah, fun reuniting, yada yada, and then they have to wait for a bit for the
go ahead to get big again.
Yeah, because I think at this moment, somewhere around now, the building is in the hands
very
of
tiny.
Sunny on the ferry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's small, so they can't be summoned back into Big World as small for some reason, which is weird. Also,
another thing I liked and enjoyed about this film was when they talked about how getting big like growing with the suit. It takes a lot out of you. It makes you really tired. Mm-hmm. That was fun to watch Homeboy get really big and then just fall.
Because didn't that happen in Civil War?
I don't remember if it did or not.
I'm pretty sure he almost passed out.
Yeah, I think so. And
in Civil War.
Also, apparently their suits are waterproof, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I imagine, I guess they were airtight.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to sink into the water molecules as well. Who knows?
Truth. Oh, I was just thinking about if there was, I think there was a sufficient amount of ant action in this movie. Ants doing stuff.
I love ants. No, not really, but if there were a larger ant, I would totally have one for a pet.
Yeah,
because they're
pretty
adorable.
Cool.
But tiny ants are annoying as hell. So.
Another really funny sequence is when he's trying to get an ant to fly him onto the ferry and they keep getting eaten.
Eaten by
so good
seagulls.
I'm gonna name you Ulysses S. Grant.
I thought the nicknames were a bit much, but
oh, I love them. They're great. It's a good time.
Anthony.
Yeah. I also like that Luis apparently can recognize individual ants, even though he probably hasn't seen any of them in 2 years. When he comes home to the ant that's taken his spot, he knows him by name. That's like Steve or something. Steve? Ant? It was so great. By the way, he had a very chill reaction to coming home seeing a man-sized ant on the couch. Good gosh. Oh, I would lose myself. Spooky.
It was good.
Yeah. Oh, and in the end, homegirl, her name, the one they save, Janet. She ends up saving the ghost, which is something that I also caught. I was like, I bet you she actually has a solve for this, like a solution, and she did. Mm-hmm. All you had to do apparently was put your hands on her face, and then
and have quantum energy inside your body already.
Indeed.
Then that's might be a problem for some people.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it's temporary, at least, because they're still working on something. Because skip forward to the post-screen credits. He was healing quantum juice or something like that.
That's true.
They got more of your healing quantum juice, is what he described it as.
They're basically throwing a battery out into the quantum realm to absorb quantum energy so they can use that to heal.
Yeah.
To continue healing the ghost.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it, because I don't know why they would call it healing quantum juice.
Yeah.
Or whatever they called it.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard healing in the name, and it's either they're describing about what she did with it, or she's describing it, and he's describing it in the way of actually continuing to heal the ghost.
Yeah. How'd you feel about the post credit?
I thought it was good.
I agree.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
it was a good tie-in.
Yes, and it solves the problem of when this was taking place, which is what I thought it was anyway. I was pretty sure it was going to take place leading up to the previous Avengers movie.
And I was kind of expecting it to happen, knowing what happened in Infinity War. I was like, I bet they're going to tie that in somehow in this movie. And I thought it was going to be during, the actual plot, but I guess post-credit scene is alright.
That's honestly what I figured. I figured it would be post-credit, and I didn't know it would be involving the quantum realm. I figured it would just be maybe someone close to him or close to Hank, or maybe they just got Mom back and she was the one who got evaporated, whatever it was. But instead,
all three of them.
Right, all
three of
them.
I'm like, that's some pretty bad odds right there.
It really is. So, do you think that Ant-Man was spared by random chance or because he was in the quantum realm?
I don't know. Are
Because
there rules to the Infinity Gauntlet?
methinks mayhaps he was spared due to the fact that he is in the quantum realm. I also think mayhaps they will use the quantum realm or quantum energy in part of the plot to set
Overthrow
right
Thanos?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like he had like a, I don't know, 17 or 18% chance to not evaporate, considering there were 4 of them and 3 of them had been evaporated.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, it could go either way. Like, it could have been good odds for him because, 3 out of 4.
Very, very true.
With a 50% chance
You are
on
correct,
each.
good sir. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But
I
it's either that or he's going to be in the
don't know.
quantum realm
It's like
throughout
what
the
determines
entirety
what
of the
life
next
is.
movie, and he's not going to be able to come out of the quantum realm until the 3 of them are restored. Then they'll pull him out, and he'll be just like or similar to Janet in that he'll have been imbued with some quantum energy power.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. It's like, are there rules to the Infinity Gauntlet? Like, what determines what?
Who knows?
But I was saying, like, are there rules to the Infinity Gauntlet? Like, are what determines like all life? Like, what's 50% of what are you calculating? Like, what in the entire universe? I mean, even microbes have their own universes.
We're assuming sentient life. That's what I assumed he put in.
Yeah, but
because,
that's never. Is that ever like clarified?
Well, I mean, we don't see half of the animals dying or half of the plants dying. We only see sentient beings dying.
Sentience. So is that? I mean, what if there's a planet of like cavemen or something?
Yeah, I imagine. I don't know.
I guess it's if you can. No, well, microbes consume resources because that's his main. Like that was Thanos' main point. Is like, there's half resources. That resources are disappearing. Blah 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 blah. Gonna kill all half life.
So instead of making infinite resources with this glove, which I probably totally can do, I'll just kill half of the universe.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. There's a weird like rule set somewhere. Come on.
You're welcome.
Stanley, give me a list.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure someone knows.
Specificities.
What was Stanley's cameo in this?
He was. I don't remember. He was definitely in it. I remember.
I know he was in it. I will do this. I'll find it. I'll get into my brain and I will pull it out.
Oh, I remember he was in a shop. He was like drinking coffee or reading a newspaper, and he saw something move by, and he's like, "This ain't the '80s anymore," or something like that.
Yes, no, his car got shrunk right in front of him.
Right, that's right.
And he's like, "I had a good time in the '60s, but I'm paying for it now." That's what it was. Yes. That's good. Yeah. All right. Well, I give this movie 1 big thumb up.
Yep, I give it 2 thumbs up.
There you go, Eddie. Well done.
2 thumbs. I'm sentient. I would be under the rule set of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Indeed, you would be. But I made the loophole with just 1 thumb.
But going back to the getting out of the quantum realm, he is listed under the cast for
the 4th movie?
For the 4th Avengers movie.
Sweet. Confirmed. He's going to kill Thanos with quantum energy. We did it.
Did you see the concept art for it?
I've seen nothing for it.
Do you want to see the concept art for it?
Not really.
Okay.
I'll watch the first trailer and then I'll desperately avoid anything else.
Well, I'll tell you that he is in the concept art as well.
Cool.
So I'm thinking that he gets out of it somehow, exactly like how he got out of it in the first movie.
Yeah, he may do that. Yeah, either figure it out himself, or maybe the lightning god will reach into some realm and pull him out of it. Who knows?
Maybe. But he has a lot of quantum energy, and he has that battery, so maybe he'll just supercharge his suit or something with that.
That's true. He could probably do that as well.
Yeah, I don't know. He'll get out of it somehow. I'm sure he's a resourceful guy, Mr.
Indeed.
Lang.
He is indeed, despite appearances. Yeah, I love this movie a lot. Go see it if you haven't. It's worth a shot, worth a view.
Indeed.
Oh goodness. All right, Eddie, what have you been nerding out to this week?
Well, by your request of countless months before now, I watched the first hour-long episode of Ultron.
Yay!
And I'll probably watch more.
Yay! I will let you know as soon as I finish more of Undertale, so you can do that.
More of Undertale. Did you start it again, or did you not continue?
Did not start it again. I have not had time.
Oh my god!
However,
delete it all and not watch it ever again.
I did during one of my lunches last week. I think it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. I got to play Cuphead, which was a good time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Have you ever played it?
Yeah, I've almost beat it so far, but I haven't gotten
that game is difficult.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god.
That's one of the bigger draws of it, though. It's very hard.
Yeah, no, it was super fun. It was good to play, and then one of our friends at work was showing it to us, and so I was playing with another coworker who hadn't played, and that was rough. And she was just like, I'm gonna not. And so the coworker who was showing it to us, our friend there, got on with me, and she'd played before, so it got a little bit easier at that point because I had someone who knew what they were doing, but I also didn't know what I was doing, so it was rough. But we beat at least one little boss section, and we did one boss section and we beat it, and then we did one gun and run and gun and beat that
side scroller.
Yeah, so that was good. That was an enjoyable time. Other than that, I've been playing a little bit more Pokemon Quests. I'm getting more of my Pokemon to evolve, which has been satisfying.
I have it on my phone. I did the first level, and I was like, I'm gonna go play Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
Yeah, there you go. Sounds good to me.
But I'm gonna play more of it probably eventually.
I finished watching. So I think beforehand I told you that I'd seen the first 2 episodes of Luke Cage. I was incorrect. I had seen the first episode in 20 minutes of the second episode, so I finished watching the second episode this week, and maybe I'll watch the third one tonight.
Good.
Who knows?
Maybe you should, and watch the rest of them as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm slightly more excited. I mean, I got to the point where spoilers for this, anyone who's listening. I got to the point where he killed that guy, murdered him, and I was like, oh crap, Luke,
wait,
what are you doing?
The abusive, the woman, the wife abuser guy?
Cockroach.
Oh, yeah, no, he's not dead.
Good, that's good. I'm glad he's not, because he looks very dead, and I'm like,
no, he's
I was like, let go, Luke, what are you doing?
Severely injured, but not dead.
You've gone from not willing to hurt anyone at all to way too far into this. Let go. You're not even getting paid, bro. Relax.
Some big issues there with the big man himself.
So yeah. But yeah, so I will definitely watch more. But anyway. Anywhoozles. Other than that,
World of Warcraft's pre-patch hit today too, but they just did most of the changes for the classes and stuff, and I expected them to start the quest chain, which starts the the Battle for Azeroth expansion, but that happens. Yeah, Azeroth. But that happens next week, and I'm kind of disappointed because I was really looking forward to it.
Battle for Azeroth.
Right now, they're just kind of. I guess they're experimenting.
Raven comes from Trigon.
Huh?
I'm messing with you because you probably don't know this.
Nope.
Anyway,
you are correct.
She has very intense psychic powers, and she has a mantra that she repeats to help her focus her mind, and it's Azeroth, Metreon, Zinthos, and Azeroth is the name of her planet. That she comes from.
Well, Azeroth is the world, one of the worlds that World of Warcraft takes place in. So that's fun.
Sweet.
But yeah, the quest line doesn't actually start until next week. So now they're just doing PvP stuff right now.
Joyous.
Which isn't very enjoyable in the World of Warcraft 6 sense, because there are classes that are a lot stronger than others. And it's kind of lame. But it's whatever. They're doing a lot more with it, so there might be improvements later.
Excellent. Hopefully there will be.
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't think I'm doing much. I've been doing much else. I've been reading a lot of comics.
What's your
a lot of
job to do with that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it's good. And yeah, I think that's really all the nerding I've been doing, which is just it sucks. I would like to do more.
Oh, I have like
it's full of so many things.
Yeah, it's not very nerdy, but I've been watching the Amazing Race.
I mean, I've been watching Queer Eye. That's not very nerdy either.
Oh,
So.
what? You're watching
that show.
Queer Eye for the straight guy?
No.
God.
It's called Queer Eye. It's not called Queer for the Straight Guy. That was the first series. This one's just called Queer Eye.
Whatever.
It's not only
I don't
straight
watch it.
men.
I'm not
That's
homosexual.
Fine. You don't have to. Whatever.
No, I've watched clips of it. It's like a couple of my friends tell me that I need to watch it, but I'm like, eh. I don't want to watch more of what I would probably do in some situations. It's like, please don't remind me of my people.
My people.
I have 2 queer eyes. Why do I need to watch one?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, gay jokes.
Got it.
No, it's I've watching the latest season. I've always wanted to be on the Amazing Race and travel the world and do weird crap and cultural appropriate things that they do. I love it. I love watching that stuff.
That's really cool. What's the structure of that? Is it like a couple or 2 people?
Yeah, it's 2 people teams. Some of them are like married or teammates previously, other things like that.
Yeah.
And then
podcast co-hosts.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a race around the world for $1 million, and it's divided into legs, and each leg has its own challenges, and the last people that arrive at the finish line of that leg might be eliminated. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think we could do it, Eddie.
Okay. I'm sure we could.
Next year, Amazing Race podcast edition.
We'll see, maybe.
What do you try out?
I think I don't know where auditions are. I mean, it changes all the time.
Yeah, I imagine.
But there are specific areas that take auditions. So.
We can podcast while we're doing it. Just like
hey,
out of
guys.
breath.
Coming back to you again. We're traveling around the world. We're actually in Thailand right now.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. Well done. I think that's about it. I don't have anything else right now. I need to get into the newest volume of My Hero.
Hero Academia. Yeah.
As well as the newest volume. What?
I said that sounds like something you would need to do.
Yeah, as well as the newest volume of The Promised Neverland. I also need to catch up on Vigilantes, but we'll see.
Undertale.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
That's true. I commit to doing some of it this weekend. At least an hour. At least play through that hour again this
I've
weekend.
fulfilled my end of this bargain.
I know you have, and
I will hop on you until you finish it.
I will work on some more of mine so that you can continue to watch Voltron, because I know you really want to, and it's great. And we have another season coming out next month.
Right.
Next month.
It's alright. Like, I guess I didn't really say very much about it, but it was alright. Like, the first episode was it seemed kind of fast despite being an hour long. Because I mean, they find all 5 of their tiger things.
They're
like,
lions.
Whatever.
And they say lions so many times. It's strange that they even call them lions, because they look at them and like, oh, it's a lion. And I'm like, no, it doesn't even have a mane. Like, none of them have manes.
Exactly.
Why are you calling this a lion?
Exactly,
but that's
why
what
I went
they
with
are.
Tiger.
So we just deal
it
with
looks more like a tiger than a lion.
It's
to
like
me.
a panther. It's like a cougar.
Okay, that's fair. I'll say panther. They look like big panthers. But anyway, they find them, and then they like immediately transform into the Voltron.
Yes.
And I don't know, just a weird, really quick first episode for the whole season, I guess.
It's great.
It's like they could have made a whole season about finding each tiger or lion or sorry, whatever.
You'll be very thankful that they
in.
didn't the farther you get into the series, because there's so many other things in the series.
That's good.
I don't like it when people drag their feet. So.
And I'm sure you told me this before watching, but as I was watching, I was like, huh, this animation looks like the Legend of Korra animation.
Yes, because it is. Studio Mir.
Yeah, I know. And I went and researched. I was like, oh, they're Studio Mir.
Yes. Yes.
They did
yes,
do Legend of Korra.
Absolutely did.
And the season 4 Boondocks, which I also watched.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Yes,
I think that's another reason why I wanted to watch more, is because I really like the animation style. So.
Yes, it's very, very good, and it maintains its goodness.
I hope you're right, Ethan.
It's so good.
Guess what? Undertale gets really good too.
I imagine it does. I honestly I hope it does, because at the point where I was very bored. but I will.
The tutorial does drag on. Like
yes,
that's
I will.
Once the tutorial goes through, then you start learning more about like the world and the backstory of everything.
Cool.
And the real story that's going on in the underground.
Well, I'll get through it again and not kill anyone this time.
Yep.
Cool.
You don't do that.
Anyways, yeah, I guess that's the show. Thank you again for listening to us. It would please us incredibly if you would like, comment, subscribe, rate us, give us a review, whatever you feel so inclined to do. Let your friend know that you like the show, whatever it is. Do that. Get in touch with us. Let us know how you liked Ant-Man and the Wasp, and if you have any crazy theories about where Avengers 4 is going to go and what's going to happen with the future of the Marvel Universe. Also, let us know if you like Voltron and if Eddie should watch more of it. And
this feels very one-sided.
It's just good. I just want someone else to nerd about it with me. David, come back. Anyways, yeah. So do that. You can find us. You can find us on YouTube, Podbean, Castbox, Stitcher, iTunes, Stitcher Radio. Yeah.
Crap is Stitcher.
Look,
never even heard of that.
It's
before.
a thing. I mean, there are a lot of podcast things out there.
We're there.
Did I tell you
apparently.
Someone found us on SoundCloud the other day? There's like one episode of us on SoundCloud.
That's amazing. Did you put it up there?
No, I didn't.
That's weird.
But well, some services like that just like search for RSS feeds and grab them and put them on their thing, on their site, like so that
sounds like something we should be getting paid for.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. We'll look into that. Anywho, but yeah, find us wherever you find us and keep listening to us, and we appreciate you listening so very much. But yeah, let us know what you think, what you like, if you want us to review anything else, talk about anything else here on the show. Yeah, and pass by our Facebook, give us a like. But anyways, yeah, I think that's all the ridiculous unorganized plugs I do. That's been us. My name's Ethan.
I'm Eddie.
And we are Those Nerds You Know. Bye.